and think that that story, those 2 sentences, is the thing holding you back. Do you really want to give that story that much power? I want you to listen for clues. What does that mean? Listen for clues. You see, you know the saying, success leaves clues. That was Jim Rohn said it and taught Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins pushes it. But it does, because here's what I know. Our subconscious wants to lean back towards the clues of why it didn't work. See, I knew that wouldn't work, and you're not smart enough, and you didn't go to school for that. Or, see, your parents told you should have taken that job. So we subconsciously look for clues of failure. But what if you shifted that and listened for the clues, watched for the clues? That success does leave clues all over the place. It leaves clues in other people, right? Obsess on, if you want to be in the fitness world, find somebody doing amazing in the fitness world, making great money, has a good life, and really doing it, and look for the clues that they leave behind. They're like breadcrumbs. The clues are everywhere. If you want to be in real estate, you can model me and some of the things I've done. If you want to be in sales or write books, you should model me. Nobody's done that at a higher level than me. If you want to learn how to, do anything in life, there are successful people out there leaving breadcrumbs all over the place if you just look. So find a mentor, find a mastermind, find a coaching program. Immerse yourself in where the clues are being most likely left. But here, people with unsuccessful businesses also take opinions from the wrong people. They take advice from your parents, advice from your friends at a picnic, advice from people who pretend they know what they're doing, their coworkers. If someone's not playing the game at the highest level possible, do not listen to them. If someone tried and failed, don't listen to them, because they only know how to do it wrong. But people do all these things. They focus their energy. They want to make more money. They focus their energy on the wrong areas. They focus on the products, the colors, they focus on the logos, they focus on the location or what their website should look like, and all this obsessive stuff that means nothing at the end of the day. They try to create something that people need, and people don't buy something unless they want it. And then when it's not working, or before they launch, they ask an unqualified person. And then you wonder why your business doesn't work, and you feel like you're stuck at a job or stuck in a business that's not paying you anything. And if you have your own business and you're working 40, 60, 80 hours a week and making less than you can at a job, then you just built yourself a job. You don't have your own business. So let's flip that. The biggest lie we've ever been told is to work on our weaknesses. Biggest BS in the world. The hell with your weaknesses. I was in special reading till 12th grade. I couldn't spell for shit. Right now, my computer, if it could talk to me, I try to type words and send an email, and I'll go through like 3 different variations. It can't even find the word. It's like, give up, bro. Use a simpler word. You just don't have the vocabulary, and I know that. But I still have multiple New York Times bestsellers, and I've been able to touch the lives of millions of people, because here's the secret. Get great at what you're already good at, and pay people to do the shit you suck at. There's some habits that you picked up along the way that served you at one point in your life. There was habits that got you out of your first job, maybe into your business, or got you the promotion. There was habits that got you in okay shape. There was habits that allowed you to have pretty good thinking. But remember, your best thinking got you here. It's the same thing with your habits. Your best habits got you here. So I'm going to ask you to analyze certain habits that you have, but look at them through a new lens. They were the habits that got you here. They were the habits that got you out of Egypt. Are they the habits that can really take you to the promised land? I love that. I got that from Dan Sullivan, one of my mentors. He said, yes got you out of Egypt. No takes you to the promised land. We're so used to saying yes to get here, but we really have to say no to all the crap that doesn't serve us to go to the next level. So what habits do you do out of a hypnotic rhythm that you really have to say no to? You have to let go. You have to not have them as a part of your life. And when you throw them away, that's when you get to adopt new habits in your life. There's also things that are a part of your so-called priorities. I really want you to analyze the priorities you have in your life. If priorities are 1 to 5, sometimes we have things in the 5 out of 5, but they don't serve us. They don't serve God. They don't serve your bigger future. They serve other people's needs. They serve the old version of you. They serve the dreams you used to have when you were younger. You're going to have to let them go. Also, your goals. Here's a crazy one. you're going to have to let go of some goals. You're like, whoa, Dean, you had me up to this point. You're going to have to let go of some goals that don't serve this new version of you. So goals, set realistic goals. As simple as that sounds, when's the last time you set a daily realistic goal? Have you done that today? So maybe you're watching and say, I know about goals. I heard about that before. When did you set, what about your week, your month, your quarter, your year? When's the last time you did it? New Year's? What about doing it every day? What about measurable goals? People set all these goals and expectations, what they want, but they don't put a measuring stick to it. Nothing grows without being measured. If you're not analyzing your goals, if you're not putting a measurable piece on it, you can say, well, I think I'm getting there. No, it's either yes or no. It's black or white. My friend Frank Kern talks about binary thinking. Either you're getting towards your goals or you're not. Either you're making money or you're losing money. Either you're moving towards a bigger future or you're sliding back down the mountain. When you put it in black and white, it kind of calls you out on your own shit, for lack of a better word, right? And then a timeline. Somebody says, I want to make more money. Well, what do you mean you want to make more money? By when? What are you going to do? What's the timeline? How do you know if you're succeeding or failing? That's, in today's world, everybody says scorecard. But of course, would you watch a football game if there was no score? Would you watch a basketball game if there was no score? Hell no. But why aren't you keeping score of your life? Why aren't you deciding if you're winning this game, if you're winning the financial game, you're winning the success game, you're winning happiness, abundance, health? If you don't score it, then you're just, playing a game like you're in minor league where the last time they played baseball without scoring was a minor league. Do you want to play in the minor leagues? You want to play in life in the major leagues? Keep score, create a timeline, and then break it up. I love this phrase. I've been saying it for about 6 months, success tax.
Yeah, I heard you say it earlier.
You know what I love about that? Somebody told to me, I didn't make it up, but I found my own version of it. It's like we all want to make more money. We all want to feel significance, abundance, freedom. But most people aren't willing to pay it. So a great analogy I've been using is if you're in a band and you play the guitar and you write songs. It would be amazing to be at Madison Square Garden, 50,000 people singing your song. You're out in the front of the stage. I mean, could anything be more euphoric, right? But everybody would want that, but who's willing to play the guitar when no one's watching till your hands hurt? Who's willing to pack up an old shitty van that barely runs and drive to dive bar after dive bar playing where people are booing you? Most people aren't willing to put in the success tax to pay. And I said, what if you just visualized, whether you believe in God, whatever you believe in, that there's an auditor, a success auditor. And you go, okay, Ed started with shit, lives in a ghetto. Okay, but he's still positive every day. Wow, he's still respectful. Wow, he tried that first business and his first partner screwed him over, took all the money and left. Wow, he still got up the next day, still inspiring other people, still not a jerk. Check. What if you got to check off 10 boxes before you get to the other side? Because once you get to the other side, it opens up like Ed's amazing backyard. There's not many people playing at that level. Like everybody thinks it's so competitive up here. It's not, because you guys are all fighting over crumbs, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but all I'm saying is when you said, like, put in the success tax and know you're going to fail, know it's going to go sideways, but it's worth it. And those two things combined, love what you do and put in the success tax, and then all of a sudden, because I've been framing it more than ever, the success tax, when shit goes sideways, I'm like, man, I just checked another box.
Bro.
We're a generation brought up on everything that's wrong. It's what sells. In the States, Time magazine in the 50s used to be 90% positive. And as it evolved, the more negative they got on the cover of the news of Time magazine, the more magazines they sold. By the 90s, it was 95% negative. And is that the only media outlet that promotes all the negativity? When's the last time you watched the news and you got done, you're like, damn, I am in state. I feel amazing. Honey, if you missed the 7 o'clock news, they replay it at 9. You got to catch it. It is unbelievable how I feel. No, you watch the news and go, why should I do anything? We're all screwed. Right? So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Step one, everybody, can everybody do me a favor and go on a 1-week news diet? 1 week, zero news, not reading the paper from cover to cover, not watching Fox News or watching CNN or whatever it is you watch. Go for a week and use that time, that effort and energy to work on the things Tony taught you, what I'm going to teach you, what you want to do with your own life. You will not believe the freedom it gives you by not having that negativity in your ear. Because if you think about that negative news, if you want to consider this inner villain or this inner insecurity or this self-doubt, all that news is it's gas to the fire. I'm going to start with reciprocity. It is the foundation. It is, as Brian Tracy says, I want to give him credit for that, it's the most powerful law of human nature. And what the law of reciprocity says, and the wealthiest, most successful, most happy people I know in the entire world understand reciprocity above all. And for most people, not you, because you're here learning, you get it, you wouldn't be on this call right now. For most people, it seems counterintuitive. Most people feel, well, I'll do something for you when you do something for me. Or I'll do something for you if I feel I can get something from you. I believe reciprocity in a different way. I would say the definition of reciprocity really is, not only is it the strongest human nature, reciprocity is if I do something for you, you will feel obligated, it's human nature, to do something back for me. That's reciprocity on the simplest way that I can describe it. But I want to bump it up. I want to show you how it's affected my life. Reciprocity to me is the same thing, but I want to do something for you and not expect something back, because I think there's a bigger play here. I think there's something bigger than us. I believe in God. You can believe in the universe, whatever it is, what God, it doesn't matter. I just believe there's a higher power than us that knows when you do for others without wondering what's going to come back, it comes back. And sometimes it comes back by somebody tapping on your shoulder. You give and give here, thinking you're going to get something back, and all of a sudden the deal comes through. Your neighbor wants to sell your house and you make money. Here's the thing I'd love to share with everybody. I know in my 20s, when I wanted to be wealthy, if someone said, hey, you got to work on your personal growth, you got to work on your mindset, and then you'll be bulletproof. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I'm a hustler. Give me the tool. Yeah. Show me how to make the money. I'll do it. I'm not going to jump up and down and practice aligning my chakras and meditate. I'm just going to go. And I was wrong. Like when I look back in retrospect, what got me there was my personal growth, my mindset of saying, I am retiring my mom. Yeah. I am not letting this shit happen, and there's no one going to get in my way. Not a brick wall, not failure, not insecurities, not my friends telling me I'm nuts. My sister literally sat me down like an intervention in my 20s telling me I was a dreamer. Stop, you're not capable of this stuff. You're going to fail, right? But what kept me going? It wasn't, yes, I discovered real estate, but I also did well with a tow truck company and fixing cars and selling cars. It was that unstoppable, like nothing's getting in my way. And if I could give anyone a gift, that's the gift I'd give. That may be. What stands between us and where we want to go is never what we think it is. It's not the economy. It's not the president. It's not that somebody already dominated the health food industry or dominated Facebook advertising or dominated TV advertising or there's no room left. It's never that. It's always the story we tell ourselves on why we can't achieve that. And if I wanted to boil it down, I would just say, what is your biggest why? What's your biggest goal that you would love? If it was a year from now and we were sitting here, you're watching this and it was a year later, and it was the best year of your life, what would be the biggest thing that would have changed in your life? From money, income, family, love, intimacy, being a better dad, mom, whatever that is. If you say to yourself, I would love that goal. Like I'd love to have my company doing $1 million a year in net profit so I could have freedom for my family. Then just say but. And whatever that but is usually your story. It's like, I would love my company to be doing $1 million yet, but I live in a smaller town and there's just not enough people to do it. Or the internet's so saturated, there's no room to advertise on Facebook anymore because everybody and their brother's on. Whatever that story is usually your story, and that's the results you get. And that story is the thing standing between you and your next level. And I know people are watching right now going, oh, Dean, that's nice. You guys got money now, so it's easy. I don't have any money. I don't have a partner. I don't have any business experience. This economy's not right for what we do. And where there's that old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. If your story is that's what you'll continue to get. So what I would say is, if I was going to boil it down, is find what that story is. Now to you might be saying, Dean, you're saying it's a belief, it's reality. And maybe it's phase 3, but reality is nothing more than our perception of a situation, right? We all know that. You've read that about it, you've watched it on Tom's show, everybody has said it, but maybe this is the first time you actually think about it, that reality you think is holding you back is really just the story. So there's 2 things I say, is go find somebody else with that same story. Like go look at your evolution, where you were on your couch, no money, right? Go look at Richard Branson's story. Look at Tony Robbins' story. Look at, John Paul DiGiorio, or all the amazing books. I've read every book in there. That's amazing, the people that you've got to interview and meet. But read all those stories and realize that first of all, that story you have is probably a lie, right? So if you can find proof, like leverage that it's a lie, that's one thing. But then the one that would get me is I love aspiration. I love to look and say, look what you did, man. I want to get there. If he did it, I can do it. But sometimes you need the pain as well. So what I like to do is I like to think, take that story and think it's 5 years from now and think it's 10 years from now. And you're still in the same exact spot you are now. You're still worried. You still have envy. You still want more. You desire more. You want to take care of your family. You want to provide more. And think that that story, those 2 sentences, is the thing holding you back. Do you really want to give that story that much power?